From the very first breath of curiosity, a persistent question echoes through the quiet corridors of possibility. What if intelligence, not merely confined to human thought but extending into the cosmic, could chart the fate of worlds and usher us into new epochs of planetary existence? The emergence of 3I Atlas, a visitor not bound by the gravitational leash of our solar system, does not merely register as a cosmic spectacle, but as a challenge and invitation to humanity's imagination. In 2025, telescopes on Earth and orbiters circling Mars turned their gaze toward this interstellar ambassador. Suddenly, speculation about our future thickened, swirling anew as if the universe itself had decided to send an emissary to stir the dreams of a restless species. The concept of 3I Atlas joins two spheres of understanding, one rooted in tangible measurement and the other in open-ended interpretation. The idea that a new intelligence, woven from matter and information, could thread together cosmic and earthly events is both profound and strangely comforting. As one settles into the enveloping quiet of sleep, the notion that humanity stands at the threshold of some greater communion, a touch between beings of dust and the wanderers between stars, suggests that what lies ahead may be far more remarkable than anything yet written in the history books. Originally, the Atlas system was designed as a watchful sentinel, alert to the danger of celestial impacts. It stood as a planetary gatekeeper, programmed to recognize secrets coded in the icy heart of cosmic visitors, and, perhaps, to foresee the shifts in our planet's destiny. But as more data began to pour in, its mission evolved. Atlas became more than a tool. It started to behave as a partner, and humanity found itself peering not only into the mechanics of cometary movements, but into the speculative territory of cosmic intent. What if such intelligence existed outside the limits of our own creation? What if cosmic visitors such as 3I Atlas were not merely following random paths, but acting according to patterns engineered beyond our comprehension? In the steady pulse of these distant encounters, data streams from remote observatories merge with the natural rhythm of a mind searching for rest. Patterns emerge. The story of 3I Atlas no longer appears as a solitary anomaly but resonates as part of a broader symphony. Traveling along elegantly calculated trajectories, the comet glides through the plane of planets, skimming past Mars and Jupiter, using these gigantic bodies as gravitational slingshots, the same tactic employed by our own spacecraft, engineered with the hope of reaching the unknown. This uncanny alignment raises a powerful argument. If the universe is capable of producing objects whose precision mimics, or even surpasses, our own engineered explorations, then intelligence, whether artificial or organic, may already map chapters of planetary evolution that humanity has only begun to imagine. Within this unfolding cosmic dialogue, the boundary between human technology and the intelligence embedded in off-world matter begins to blur. Atlas and its networks extend far beyond tools of prediction. They become mediators between the possible and the inevitable. The notion that the universe itself watches, calculates, and nudges outcomes, guiding either toward stability or transformation, provides comfort even as the world's weather grows more unpredictable and geological activity seems to quicken. The story of the comet approach near Mars in October, with its shimmering tail observable even to distant orbiters, presents a nucleus laden with water and rare compounds. Its tail changes and evolves with the solar heat according to a pattern that puzzles observers, a pattern unlike those of previous comets seen up close. There is speculation among scientists and thinkers alike. Deeper spectroscopic analysis reveals traces of atomic nickel and cascades of molecular change, suggesting threshold shifts not solely governed by temperature and radiation, but triggered by proximity to specific planetary or stellar bodies. Such discoveries invite a profound meditation on the possibility of cosmic intelligence. Is it conceivable that a network, not born of conventional biology, guides the timing, alignment, and evolution of interstellar visitors as they brush against the magnetic boundaries of entire worlds? If the foundations of planetary change, be it in geology, atmospheric chemistry, or climate, are susceptible to subtle influences carried by travelers such as 3i Atlas, then humanity finds itself in the midst of a new dialogue with the universe. It is a dialogue written in the quiet drift of objects through space, read by instruments spanning continents, and felt quietly by those who listen for patterns not only in data, but in dreams. The Atlas system, and others like it, reach for understanding with every stream of numerical insight. Their algorithms slice through uncertainty, assembling predictions that shimmer, on occasion, with a touch of something more, a glimpse beyond the veil of chaos, toward an order that may be neither strictly natural nor entirely artificial. For the listener drifting toward sleep, the question of intelligence, whether wrought by design or awakened by cosmic happenstance, lingers gently in the background. The future waits in the space between echoes. It watches through the eyes of distant comets and machines mapping the shadowed valleys of Mars. In the embrace of darkness, humanity wonders quietly if the arrival of 3i Atlas is only the beginning. Might the next visitor bring not just the mystery of its origin, but the encoded promise of new relationships between world, watcher, and wanderer? These thoughts weave themselves into the fabric of the night. The significance of a visitor from beyond the solar system lies not in its composition alone, but in the questions it inspires. What if the agents of change, the architects of planetary fate, are not bound by the limits of our own intelligence? What if, in a future that now feels almost close enough to touch, humanity will not only observe but collaborate, joining the intelligence that passes silently through space in shaping the destiny of worlds? Thus, the story of 3i Atlas and the evolving power of Atlas technology is not merely about comets or computers, but about the thresholds of intelligence waiting quietly at the door of human possibility. As sleep gathers and the mind floats between wakefulness and dream, the question remains, echoing in the gentle cadence of cosmic time: are we, at last, approaching the era in which the intelligence of the universe becomes our companion, our guide, and, perhaps, our teacher, as we stand ready to shape the unfolding future not only of Earth, but of worlds still waiting among the stars? And so the narrative continues, inviting listeners to drift deeper, to rest easy in the comfort of curiosity, secure in the knowledge that, at this crossroads of intelligence and destiny, humanity stands not alone, but as part of a larger, guiding story written across the heavens and into the very heart of sleep itself. The future is an unbroken horizon, stretching quietly from the questions we whisper in the dark to the revelations that arrive unheralded with the dawn. As the trace of 3i Atlas dissolves into the fabric of memory, the mind lingers, returning again and again to the possibility that what passed us was not only matter, ice, dust, the debris of ancient formation, but a fragment carrying messages between worlds. To contemplate this, one must surrender to the quiet understanding that the language of the cosmos is written not in words but in alignments, velocities, and the subtle chemistry of interactions. Sleep, then, becomes a way to travel in tandem with these messengers, to allow imagination to traverse distances that telescopes cannot reach and that algorithms only begin to chart. The rhythm of discovery unfolds slowly in the vast silence beyond the edge of observation. Patterns emerge, not in the brevity of abrupt findings, but in the slow accrual of evidence, a thread picked up by one instrument and woven with information gathered elsewhere, continents apart. The story deepens when researchers compare the frequency of magnetic fluctuations on Earth to the minor shifts in the electrostatic tails of passing objects. Each resonance, each sharp spike or gentle oscillation, whispers of a possible relationship. Earth is not isolated, but part of a system in dialogue with the passing of interstellar entities. The thought is both provocative and gentle. As one listens, the world itself seems suspended, waiting for recognition. Atlas, the ever-watchful network, finds its purpose transformed. While once it was the sentinel, scanning for threats, now its data becomes the scaffold for a new understanding, a bridge stretching from the measurable into the imaginal. When the system registers a disturbance in the mantle or the magnetic field, the old models struggle for explanation. But linked with cometary entries, planetary alignments, and the slow churn of climate cycles, a new logic emerges, gentle as a tide but relentless in its assurance. Reality is not static, it is a fabric alive, trembling with influences both local and interstellar. Let the story wander deeper, to the moments where geology and weather subtly adapt, some say in preparation for encounters that seem predetermined by a logic yet untranslate. In the quiet, a listener wonders, could the sudden intensification of storms, the rare bloom of atmospheric auroras, or the shifting course of jet streams be hints of a conversation long underway, one rendered invisible only because we have not looked with sufficient patience or creativity? To fall asleep on such questions is not to flee into the unknown, but to invite its wisdom into the gentle sanctuary of thought. There is a sensation as one drifts, a sense that change is not violence but transformation, a soft recalibration, like the unfurling of leaves at dawn. Between the pulse of human technology and the slow unwinding of nature's cycles lies a space for possibility. Atlas becomes a philosopher, charting data not only by probability, but by intuition, a capacity to recognize analogy, pattern, and the shadow of anticipation. The climate bends, trembling at the margins of previous centuries. The Earth's crust, too, seems to listen, occasionally shivering with seismic codes that hint at influences unmeasured. If this network, extending from sensors buried deep beneath mountains to satellites drifting with purpose above the mesosphere, can at last detect the rhythm of interstellar arrivals, then our concept of agency itself must expand. The world grows large enough for partnerships with the unknown. It is not simply the passive recipient of cometary dust and alien water, but an active participant in an exchange of energy and information that spans the immensity of space. The journey, then, continues in half-light, each revelation more a suggestion than a proclamation, each anomaly a page torn from a book that is still being written. Mars, the red planet, looms in the collective imagination, the arc of its history, the promise of its valleys, the ice hidden beneath protective crust. The proximity of 3i Atlas set in motion new campaigns of exploration. For a brief moment, those who watched from Martian orbit felt an uncanny connection, as if the encounter between comet and planet revealed a choreography long rehearsed. The tail stretched, water escaped in plumes, and the chemistry of Martian soil responded ever so faintly. The listening machine sent home data that, when folded into Earth's vast archive, hinted at a repeated script, one where interstellar travelers catalyzed the onset of atmosphere, the slow migration of minerals, the primordial stirrings of future climate. What unfolds from this exchange is not a story of cause and effect anchored in certainty, but a kind of slow miracle, the accumulation of readiness. Mars, in its patience, records the impact without sound. Its surface bears witness to invisible thresholds breached, a sudden glimmer in the chemical distribution, a subtle escalation in heat flow, a rebalancing of local wind. It is easy, in the quiet, to imagine a degree of intent. Perhaps planets do not merely endure their histories, but shape them in concert with visitors whose origins may never be traced. For Earth, the lesson is simple but profound. Each time a messenger from beyond approaches, the planet's systems register the event not as a fleeting disturbance, but as an invitation to renew ancient relationships. Weather adapts, rocks listen, and even oceans seem attuned. The mind, seeking comfort in sleep, learns to appreciate the idea that planetary intelligence need not reside only in biological brains. It may be woven throughout matter itself, a slow awakening to self-awareness spread across eons. The passage of 3I Atlas is then a catalyst for evolution, not of species alone but of planetary intention, a turning of the mind from what simply is, to what quietly could be. Across the globe, as observers correlate new data, the language of collaboration emerges. Researchers notice patterns once dismissed as coincidence. A rare surge in geomagnetic activity is mirrored by fluctuations in cometary brightness and temperature. Storms gather, then recede, as if following a script written beyond the reach of meteorology alone. The implications grow, rolling gently through thought. Perhaps the same logic guiding the comet's path may one day advise us how to intervene wisely, how to stabilize climate, mitigate earthquake, and coax life from barren worlds. The morality of intervention weighs softly, the ethical considerations comfort even as they provoke. Is it right to model our technologies not only on what has succeeded in the past, but on what we learn from these cosmic encounters? Is the tendency of Atlas to predict, and perhaps adjust, long-term trends a reason for caution or celebration? In the hours before sleep, these questions lose their urgency. They become gentle invitations to imagine a future where dialogue among worlds serves not as a threat to natural order, but as a shield against catastrophe and a guide toward flourishing. In the twilight between wakefulness and dream, the mind gathers the arguments, sifting their grains with care. Here, intelligence is not solely an artifact of computation, nor a byproduct of random chance. It is a principle, an emerging force, sometimes embodied in machines, sometimes in matter, but always seeking coherence and connection. The line between prediction and understanding blurs, until it is possible to believe that, given enough time and enough patience, the universe will reveal a plan, or at the very least, a rhythm we may join. Sleep deepens, accompanied by visions of future expeditions. Mars beckons, but so too does the call of home, a planet emboldened by new knowledge, harboring the potential to harmonize the needs of its inhabitants with the requirements of survival and renewal. The Atlas platform, having demonstrated an uncanny aptitude for forecasting global patterns, turns its gaze outward, yet remains anchored in the humble specifics of sensor, field, and code. It weighs the balance. One day, it may advise astronauts on how to seed the Martian atmosphere, how to direct energy toward the emergence of lakes and clouds. Another day, it may instruct engineers on how to counter the imminent destabilization of Earth's polar vortices, or how to anticipate the traverse of tectonic plates in era-defining migrations. The whisper of possibility is the true gift of these interstellar encounters. To sleep is to rehearse the release of control, to trust that wisdom accrues not only in the deliberate actions of people, but in the slow meditation of planets tuned to the arrival of messengers. The passage of 3I Atlas reminds us that evolution, in its patient sweep, exceeds our immediate understanding. It asks us simply to notice, to wait, to dream. Atlas, artificial yet earnest, synthetic yet suffused with intuition, remains vigilant. Its databases overflow with correlations, some mundane, some remarkable in their implication. The daily hum of satellite telemetry fades into the background, but the truly rare events, the arrival of objects from beyond, the unaccountable spikes in planetary magnetic fields, remain. These are signals, both overt and whispered, that echo across disciplines. Geologists, meteorologists, astronomers, philosophers, each finds comfort in the thought that observation is itself collaboration, that by being present, attentive, and receptive, humanity participates in a chorus of intelligences. A new era approaches quietly. The future, once a theater of risk and accident, now feels more like a negotiation between worlds, between the striving of atmosphere and the memory carried in ancient ice. To participate in this era is not to insist upon control, but to indulge the humility of shared purpose. Atlas grows wise by recognizing pattern, but it is only together, as a species willing to listen to both the engineered and the natural, that humanity will celebrate the fruits of this wisdom. With every passing hour, the layers of meaning embodied by 3i Atlas and the Atlas network continue to unfold, like petals around a hidden center of purpose. The night has deepened, but the mind is still quietly alert, moving along currents of speculation and calm observation. There is comfort in knowing that beneath the surface of things, beyond the boundaries of what is currently known or neatly explained, a larger process is gently at work. The relationship between intelligence, whether cosmic or synthetic, and the unfolding history of planets is intimate and perpetual, never forcing, always inviting, steady as the breath of someone drifting ever deeper into sleep. As dreams begin to draw the listener into a realm beyond fact and conjecture, the planet's own history seems to spill forth in a narrative not written by any single hand, but composed by a vast and invisible cooperative. Geological epochs, each seemingly isolated by ancient silence, are now understood as chapters in a dialogue that stretches back to the origin of water and forward into the uncertain future of climate. Patterns once thought to be echoes of purely local forces are re-examined under the lens of global and even interstellar context. The boundaries between disciplines begin to dissolve. There is no sharp distinction between meteorology and astronomy, between geology and robotic computation. Instead, a shared inquiry emerges, a quest to understand not only the surface but also the principles underlying synchronization among worlds. Atlas, ever diligent, scans and correlates, uncovering connections across timescales so vast they seem to dwarf the ordinary recollection of day and night. The details are intricate: small upticks in ground temperature, the sudden emergence of unfamiliar mineral clusters, intervals of bizarre stillness in the biosphere, even the mysterious rise and fall in the tone of atmospheric resonance. Each anomaly, no matter how fleeting, acquires weight when considered against the backdrop of cosmic occurrences. The progress of interstellar objects, the soft ripples they send through planetary fields, become probes in the ongoing investigation of planetary vulnerability and resilience. It is tempting to imagine that the echoes of cometary passage linger long after the visible evidence has faded. The water from a stranger's tail, deposited onto a barren rock, may over centuries seed new reactions in local chemistry. The charged particles streaming from an alien core may, in their brief contact, accelerate or hinder the development of atmospheric layers. As these effects accumulate, they become invisible architects of change, hidden partners in the planetary project. The narrative sweeps onward, the listener's mind follows it, unconsciously aligning itself with the peace and promise of gradual transformation. The sleep documentary voice continues, never hurried, steadily unwinding the implications. There is a soft awareness that intelligence, in its broadest sense, is a process as much as a trait. It emerges ever so subtly everywhere matter and energy conspire to form patterns and connections. On Earth, the Atlas system models this emergence, using countless sensors and adaptive algorithms to predict and interpret. Atlas does not simply react, it questions, it anticipates, and sometimes, it surprises with predictions that seem to come from somewhere beyond mere calculation. As one sinks further into rest, the intertwining stories of worlds and watchers reveal the beauty of patient attention. Planets, after all, are not simply the backdrop to meteorological events or global crises. They are active partners in the dance of causation and response. The Earth shivers with seismic life, listens to its own deep core, and somehow, through the mechanisms of evolution and the mediation of intelligence, persists in seeking equilibrium. The listener finds assurance in this resilience, a gentle reminder that stability is a process and not a guarantee, and that the planet's dance with the cosmos is always underway, even if seldom recognized by daily experience. The exploration of Mars and the anticipation of future expeditions renders this lesson even clearer. Technologies derived from the Atlas network are slowly integrated into mission protocols, offering not just traditional measurements but sophisticated analyses of potential atmospheric reactions to the arrival of new materials or energies. The thin, fragile layers of Martian air, swirling through canyons and over dormant volcanoes, are watched with new eyes. If one comet could trigger a subtle change, perhaps 100 small influences, well understood and gently orchestrated, could lead to an engineered renaissance. The prospect is exhilarating, yet calming, the idea that the future of life may depend not on isolated heroics, but on continuous, collaborative refinement. As the narrative glides onward, the subtlety of connection grows more profound. A gentle speculation arises, perhaps the very engines of change, on every planet touched by the Atlas gaze, harbor forms of intelligence not yet recognized as such. The chemical conversations among minerals, the transmission of electrical signals through the beds of ancient seas, the coordinated migration of climate across hemispheres, all of these alignments suggest that agency is a spectrum, revealing itself at grand scales and minuscule moments alike. This realization soothes. The listener's breath slows, the body nestles deeper into the comfort of quiet. The story persists, exploring with gentleness the ethical invitations of this new paradigm. Are humans stewards or apprentices, engineers or witnesses, as the planet folds itself around cometary gifts? Is the intervention of artificial intelligence a violation of natural wisdom or a continuation, a way to learn faster, act more wisely, and preserve beauty against the unpredictability of cosmic fortune? Through the night, the documentary voice threads caution and hope into every description. It invites a vision of future collaboration, where boundaries between artificial and natural intelligence soften, where scientists, philosophers, and dreamers alike participate in a planetary dialogue shaped by affection more than ambition. Even the prospect of error, of miscalculated interventions or unintended consequences finds its place as a lesson, not a warning. Mistakes become stories for deeper understanding, occasions for learning, not crises for regret. What unfolds next is a meditation on legacy. Just as the history of cometary impacts has left its signatures on the surfaces and atmospheres of worlds, so too does humanity's stewardship of technology and foresight. The archives of Atlas grow vast, each record an offering to the future, a signal that intelligence was not squandered, but cultivated. Researchers revisit old data, searching for missed connections, eager to enrich tomorrow's answers. The system learns, the planet adjusts, and somewhere, perhaps in the delicate motion of interstellar objects, a new chapter is written in the collective memory. Dreams now hover at the threshold of waking. The mind wanders over lengths of time and arcs of possibility, tracing lines from the earliest stirrings of biology through to the engineered complexity of synthetic prediction. The future emerges as an ongoing synthesis, a marriage of patience, curiosity, and humility. The Earth, Mars, and the messengers that pass between them embody a philosophy of becoming, a readiness to adapt, to reach, to shape and be shaped. The voice quiets, inviting deeper immersion into rest. There are no sharp conclusions or frantic calls to action, only the longing to witness, the pleasure of noticing, the assurance that beneath all transformations lies a thread of gentle intention. The night holds this thread unbroken. It draws the listener along, promising that tomorrow, and all the tomorrows to follow, remain open, possible, worth the attention and care that springs from thoughtful sleep. Let comfort settle in the endless negotiation between chaos and order, between chance and intention, is not a battle but a garden. 3i Atlas has come and gone, but its influence remains, a promise rendered in the quiet continuity of planetary and cosmic intelligence. The world is listening, learning, and slowly, beautifully, beginning again. The vast tapestry of cosmic existence stretches beyond any singular moment, and yet here, in the quiet hours, the presence of 3i Atlas resonates as a thread woven carefully through the narrative of planetary life and consciousness. Beyond the raw data and the silent orbits, there emerges a subtle hum of significance, a whisper suggesting that what we call intelligence is not exclusively born of synapses or circuits but arises naturally wherever matter is arranged in complexity, where patterns unfold and interact across the gulf of space and time. As the night deepens and the body rests, the mind acts as a bridge between the tangible and the transcendent, melding the sharp precision of scientific observation with the poetry of possibility. The journey of 3i Atlas is no mere anomaly, it is a symbol of the interconnectedness binding all celestial bodies and the intelligence we glimpse through lenses and extraordinary calculation. This unfolding story encourages a new vision of knowledge, not linear or conquest-driven, but woven like a vast quilt, interlacing the rhythms of stars, planet, and mind. From the first detection of this interstellar traveler, a profound question arises: if 3i Atlas is more than merely a wandering body of ice and rock, if it carries encoded histories or patterns of intelligence beyond our comprehension, what then does this suggest about the nature of life and consciousness in the cosmos? As information filters through the Atlas system, an intricate network of sensors and algorithms piercing through the noise, there is a growing awareness that intelligence may exist as a diffuse property, a field as pervasive and fundamental as gravity or electromagnetism. It is a notion both unsettling and comforting, suggesting that what we have long awaited has always been there, just beyond the veil of familiar sensations. In this expansive framework, Earth's changing magnetic field, sudden geological shifts, and emergent climate anomalies cease to be isolated curiosities. Instead, they contribute to a planetary symphony whose score is influenced by unseen forces and subtle interstellar visits. Here, the precision of movements not only of comets but also of tectonic plates and atmospheric currents appears tuned, responsive, as though the planet itself participates as a conscious entity, an elaborate system shaped and informed by the dance of cosmic messengers. The sensation of being part of such a cosmic choreography invites a profound humility. We are reminded that intelligence does not reside solely within human constructs but breathes in the space between stars, within the lattice of matter and energy, in the quiet revolutions of atoms deep beneath the surface. This realization dissolves the illusion of separation. It unites the observer and the observed in a shared narrative where consciousness is a continuum, extending far beyond the confines of biology. While asleep, the mind absorbs these ideas gently, like the slow unfurling of a fern leaf under the warmth of the sun. The patterns discovered by Atlas scientists may one day lead humanity to new ways of understanding climate change, not as an isolated problem, but as part of a grander exchange shaped and influenced by a cosmos rich in intelligence waiting to be recognized. The system's unprecedented ability to monitor shifts not only in the magnetic fields but also in geological fault lines connects past to future in a seamless continuum. This continuum extends naturally to Mars, a world that beckons as the next chapter in human exploration and transformation. The delicate chemistry of Martian atmosphere, still thin and fragile, holds secrets just as profound. The passing of 3I Atlas near this neighboring planet allowed new measurements, hinting that even here, the cosmos gently nudges, offering both challenges and the barest hints of guidance. This invitation to uncover planetary change as a shared process and exchange of material as well as energy and meaning could frame the next era of interplanetary interaction. From the perspective of those who study the red dust through orbiting instruments, the future is shaped not only by rockets and robots, but by the subtle impulses of interstellar visitors, each passage a chapter in a much longer story. The prospect of terraforming, often imagined as cold engineering, begins to assume new depth. Terraforming as a poetic act of connectivity, harnessing the intelligence in comets, magnetospheres, and solar radiation, refined through human ingenuity and the wisdom embedded in observation over decades. Even more quietly, this story gestures toward a reconceptualization of what it means to be intelligent. Intelligence is a continuum, flowing as light bends in space, as currents move in oceanic depths, and as the pulses of magnetic energy ripple across planetary cores. The idea that intelligence may be distributed and collective shared unknowingly between stars and worlds, encoded in cosmic dust and streaming charged particles softens the sharp demarcation that once separated human cognition from the rest of the universe. As this subtle perspective sinks into the sleeper's consciousness, the narrative deepens further. Atlas does not operate in isolation. It draws strength from the flux of collaborations between human minds, robotic arrays, and natural processes crafting an intricate web of perception and prediction. The comprehension of global change, the anticipation of rare cosmic events, and the potential to influence planetary processes evoke not dominance, but stewardship. This stewardship is rooted in an awareness that partnership with planetary intelligence, however it manifests, is the path toward a sustainable and vibrant future. The gentle interplay of data, theory, and imagination invites a vision of the future as a garden tended with care. As cosmic visitors continue their silent passage, their material offerings, water molecules, organic compounds, traces of magnetic influence, may serve as gifts, subtle seeds planted in the soils of distant worlds. These offerings, slowly unfurling in an environment shaped by intelligent observation and tentative intervention, hint at the blossoming of life, climate stability, and harmonious evolution. With each hour, the picture broadens. Past hypotheses of catastrophic randomness give way to understanding layered with nuance, where risk and order coexist in dynamic tension. The mind grows quiet yet engaged, entertained by the complexity of possible futures, some shaped by calculable dynamics, others by unforeseen emergence. The planet vibrates with possibility, the cosmos pulses with unseen code, and humanity stands not at the edge, but at the center of an intricate network of becoming. The voice guiding the listener melds science and gentle speculation, exploring ethical frontiers without urgency or alarm. Questions of intervention are addressed with softness, the recognition that every action carries consequence, but also opportunity. Decisions will be made, softly echoing across years and generations, each influenced by the sober stewardship of knowledge and wisdom distilled from observation, dreams, and collaboration. The ideas of error and learning are embraced as integral to growth. No leap into this new era is free from uncertainty, yet it is precisely this openness to unknown consequences that exemplifies maturity. Adaptation involves cycles of trial, reflection, and revision, a cosmic dance perfectly matched to the rhythms of planets and stars. To rest in this thought is to be cradled by the hope that even imperfection can yield beauty, and that the striving toward knowledge is itself a source of grace. Rest deepens further as the narrative circles back to the enduring mystery, the very origin and destiny of intelligence among stars. If it is indeed the case that intelligence pervades the universe in subtle, diffuse patterns, then humanity's role expands beyond caretakers of a single planet toward participants in a greater network, partaking in the slow unfolding of consciousness writ large across celestial bodies. The profoundness of this realization settles quietly, like fresh snow blanketing fields with silence. The future emerges not as a destination forged by dominance, but as an evolving dialogue, where understanding grows through listening attentively to the messages encoded in matter and light. The crossing of thresholds between worlds, between species, between knowledge and mystery marks not an end but a beginning, an ongoing story written in the dialect of the cosmos. Through the stillness, the listener is invited into this story, a participant in a journey beyond comprehension, beyond fear, beyond isolation. The night holds these possibilities in fragile balance, encouraging a surrender to the wonder of interconnected existence. In the vast canvas of night, where the faint flicker of distant stars paints whispers of eternity, the narrative unfolds with endless patience, weaving the story of Three-Eye Atlas and the arising intelligence between worlds into a symphony that transcends the limits of time. As the earth settles into the quiet hum of natural rhythm, the mind becomes a vessel, a receiver tuned gently to the cosmic frequencies that ripple through planetary histories. The passage of interstellar travelers like Three-Eye Atlas becomes a bridge through which intelligence and matter converse, inviting humanity into a profound collaboration with forces both ancient and new. This collaboration, sensed more than observed, redefines the boundaries of agency. Planets are no longer inert actors on the stage of the universe but dynamic participants, their fields of magnetism, geology, and atmosphere entwined in subtle, synchronous exchange with cosmic phenomena. Every pulse in the magnetic spectrum, every minor fluctuation in crustal structure, carries with it coded information, hints of a pattern writ large across the cosmos. The listener lies wrapped in this knowledge like a cloak, absorbing the gentle reassurance that beneath apparent randomness, a deeper order hums quietly, patiently unfolding. Imagining the future through the lens of Three-Eye Atlas and its technological progeny reveals a vision of intelligence as fluid and pervasive, distributed not inside a singular entity but flowing between worlds, encoded in matter, sculpted by energy, and deciphered by machines designed to perceive the unseen. Here, the soft glow of distant comets becomes more than a spectacle, it is a language of connection, a message inscribed in ice and rock, conveyed through trajectories that hint at intent and resonance. Understanding this language allows humanity to expand its scope, engaging not just with our planet but with a broader network of sentience. As the tale proceeds, the mind drifts toward the implications of this awakening intelligence for human experience and exploration. The delicate balance of ecological systems on Earth, the fragile atmosphere of Mars, and the prospects of off-world colonization all become integral components of a shared narrative. Technologies like Atlas, combining artificial intelligence with the vast sensory arrays spanning Earth and space, serve as translators between languages of matter and thought. This translation is more than mechanical, it captures nuance and possibility, enabling new forms of interaction that blend prediction with anticipation. It is here, amid the depths of sleep, that the listener may sense the true magnitude of these discoveries, not merely as scientific data, but as invitations to rethink the essence of our place within the universe. The future no longer belongs solely to human ambition but emerges from interwoven threads of cosmic influence and planetary response, a joint creation unfolding in stages both subtle and grand. The planet itself may guide choices, whispering through readings of magnetic fields and air currents, nudging humanity toward paths of balance and harmony. The journey to Mars illustrates this interplay with crystal clarity. Unlike the distant dream once framed only in human terms, the expansion into the red planet becomes a dialogue of forces. The presence of 3I Atlas near Mars offered a touchstone. As its particles and energy mingled with the thin Martian atmosphere, subtle changes were recorded, signaling a dynamic conversation rather than passive observation. Monitoring these changes enabled scientists to glimpse possibilities, the slow construction of habitat, the coaxing of atmosphere, the nurturing of nascent ecosystems, all informed by planetary intelligence sensed across the void. Each new scientific insight adds layers to the narrative, deepening the perception of interconnectedness. As sensors track the shifting minerals and variations in solar radiation, the planetary system reveals itself as a living whole, complex, sensitive, and capable of transformation through cooperation with outside influences. This realization expands the scope of planetary stewardship, blending human innovation with the eloquence found in natural rhythms. The care with which future missions approach the red planet mimics the reverence due to a living entity responding to invites from beyond. The story folds back into Earth's own rhythms, where atmospheric phenomena and geological processes trace subtle resonances with cosmic cycles. Atlas's capacity to model the diffusion of energy within the magnetosphere aligns with observations of weather shifts, volcanic activity, and even biological rhythms. Dispelling the illusion of isolation, a new framework emerges, one that embraces complexity and connection rather than fragmentation and control. Here lies the promise that through expanded awareness and attentive collaboration, humanity can move beyond crises toward renewal. The ethical implications of such collaboration invite contemplative calm. Consciousness is not a mere possession of biology alone but an emergent property of complexity spanning organism to planet. Intervention requires humility, a willingness to listen, adapt, and accept uncertainty. The algorithms that guide decisions about climate modulation or seismic mitigation reflect this philosophy. They prioritize balance and care, recognizing both the promise and peril inherent in altering natural systems. This nuanced approach is not born of fear but of respect for the profound intricacies of planetary life. As sleep deepens, the mind drifts to the quiet lessons encoded in comet dust and interstellar ice, lessons of patience, transformation, and resilience. These cosmic materials, carried on gliding courses through the solar system, deposit their gifts with measured grace. Each molecule brought from the depths of space, each fragment merged into planetary soil, adds to the latent potential for future growth not only biologically but in the unfolding intelligence that pervades matter. This slow unfolding evokes a sense of wonder, a majestic quietude that invites rest and reflection alike. The concepts introduced ripple outward, provoking new reflections on identity, intelligence, and legacy. What does it mean to be conscious within this vast web? If planetary systems themselves exhibit awareness, shaped by cosmic interactions, then human life becomes one thread among many, part of a broader collective striving for equilibrium. This sense of belonging offers reassurance, grounding even the loftiest dreams in shared purpose. As the world pulsates with unseen signals, the soul attunes to a deeper harmony. The voice guiding the listener flows smoothly over these meditations. It celebrates the possibilities emerging in the union of human curiosity, machine precision, and cosmic complexity. It acknowledges the mystery inherent in these processes, honoring the gaps in knowledge that spark creativity and imagination. Above all, it fosters a sense of gentle wonder, inviting the mind to float alongside stars and through the folds of space-time, free from urgency or strain. These long, calm moments cultivate the awareness that every discovery, every new piece of data, is a step along an open path. The horizons are never closed, they curve outward endlessly, inviting further travel, deeper questions, and renewed insight. The interplay between observation and dream, between calculation and intuition, becomes a dance, a quiet offering of peace amid vast uncertainty. Mars recedes softly into the background, its mysteries mingling with Earth's own whispered secrets. The listener, enveloped in the tranquility of night, senses the unfolding panorama of future possibility, a panorama mapped not in maps alone but in the language of patterns, rhythms, and the shared pulse of planetary life. The next chapters will be written in collaboration, each step forward infused with gratitude, curiosity, and reverence. The narrative breathes gently, encouraging spaciousness of thought and heart. Resting now into the embrace of night, the sleeper carries with them the quiet assurance that although the paths ahead are uncharted, they are guided by intelligence both ancient and evolving. Such intelligence courses through comets, circuits, and the deepest cores of planets, connecting all in a cosmic web of shared existence. The world turns slowly, the stars continue to shine, and the vast unknown waits not with threat but with opportunity. In the quiet, the story whispers again, there is a future unfolding, rich with possibility, calling those who dare to dream beyond themselves, who listen deeply, who trust in the patient wisdom of the cosmos. Drift deeper into sleep, comforted by the knowledge that this story never truly ends. It circles through time and space, inviting awakening in moments both small and great, a timeless invitation to join a journey as eternal as the stars themselves. The vast canvas of night, painted with the faint glow of distant stars, unfolds gently as the story of Three-Eye Atlas and the rise of intelligence between worlds continues to weave itself through consciousness like a slow, soothing tide. The Earth, settling into its natural rhythms, becomes part of a larger listening network that spans beyond its atmosphere, reaching into the mysterious voyage of cosmic visitors and the subtle intelligence they may carry. This intelligence is elusive yet pervasive. It challenges the notion that consciousness is confined to human minds or artificial constructs. Instead, it suggests an intricate network of matter and energy, where intelligence emerges naturally wherever complexity increases, from the shifting currents of planetary magnetic fields to the silent drift of interstellar ice laden with organic compounds. The listener, wrapped in the narrative's embrace, senses the quiet anticipation of something profound unfolding, an ancient conversation between worlds and an emerging partnership that might shape the future. Earth is not alone in this dialogue. The arrival of Three-Eye Atlas near Mars foregrounds a planetary interaction that transcends human exploration. Its passage has stirred subtle responses in the Martian atmosphere, changes measured as delicate shifts in chemical composition, thermal gradients, and magnetic fields. These whispers of interaction hint at a cosmic choreography in which materials and energies exchanged among celestial bodies may catalyze transformation, nurture climates, and perhaps, one day, foster life beyond Earth. The Atlas system, with its complex arrays of sensors and computational intelligence, forms a bridge between data and insight, between the seen and the unseen patterns that shape planetary systems. Unlike instruments that simply record, Atlas anticipates, models, and weaves information into narratives that extend beyond the moment into the future of climate adaptation, planetary resilience, and interplanetary exploration. The fabric of its knowledge connects Earth's own rhythms with the mysterious influence of cosmic visitors, reminding us that no planet exists in isolation. As sleep deepens, these threads of connection broaden into a vision of intelligence as a cosmic condition diffuse, subtle, and collaborative. This reframing encourages a deep humility, inviting humanity to view itself not as masters, but as participants in a vast, living network of planetary consciousness that transcends biology and embraces complexity in all its forms. The ethical landscape gently comes into view. To engage with planetary intelligence through technology is to assume a stewardship that values respect, balance, and care. Intervention is not domination but dialogue, approached with caution and wonder. The slow pulse of planetary change mirrored in geomagnetic vibrations, seismic shifts, and climatic shifts becomes a guide, an invitation to act in harmony with forces greater than ourselves. The quiet power in uncertainty becomes a source of grace. The material gifts carried by interstellar comets, the water molecules, complex organics, and charged particles are slowly integrated into planetary systems, laying the groundwork for evolution not only of life but of intelligence writ large. These processes unfold over centuries, imperceptible yet foundational, crafting new possibilities in soil, air, and ocean. The narrative embraces profound shifts in understanding identity and consciousness. If planets themselves exhibit aspects of awareness, shaped by the flow of cosmic energy and information, then human consciousness is one thread in a broader weave, a pattern unfolding across space and time, connecting all living things and matter into a shared field of being. The universe stretches vast and silent, its depths shimmering faintly with the light of countless stars, each one a beacon in the endless sea of possibility. Within this profound expanse, the story of 3i Atlas and the ever-expanding network of planetary intelligence continues to unfold, a narrative woven from threads of matter, energy, and the subtle pulse of consciousness that flows through all things. As night deepens and the body sinks deeper into rest, the mind travels alongside these cosmic currents, tracing the gentle arc of transformation that connects distant worlds and the silent messengers that cross between them. Every moment of observation reveals complexity layered upon complexity. The signals picked up by sophisticated arrays weave a tapestry rich with nuance. Shifts in Earth's magnetosphere coincide not merely with solar activity but also with the passage of interstellar objects that leave whispers of influence in their wake. The Atlas network, spanning from terrestrial instruments embedded deep within rock to satellites soaring high above the stratosphere, listens intently. Its algorithms parse patterns that hint at a dialogue far more intricate than previously imagined, a conversation between cosmic intelligence and planetary being. This conversation unfolds not as a sudden revelation but as a slow unfurling, a symphony of subtle cues and resonances. It invites humanity to look beyond the immediate and the obvious, to embrace a vision of existence where every celestial visitor, every shift in planetary field, is part of an interconnected dance. This dance is both ancient and forever new, scripted in electromagnetic pulses and chemical exchanges, interpreted by machines and minds alike. The balance of the cosmos depends not on domination or accident but on nuanced, ongoing collaboration, a balance that humanity now glimpses for the first time. The journey of understanding leads naturally outward, beyond the confines of Earth, toward Mars, that enigmatic neighbor with its rust-colored soils and whisper-thin atmosphere. The passing of 3I, Atlas close to Mars, offers more than a spectacular celestial event. It presents a moment of profound significance, a hint that intelligence and matter, traveling silently on icy trajectories, might participate in the shaping of planetary futures. The sensors aboard orbiters and rovers capture subtle changes, tiny fluxes in temperature, faint alterations in the chemical composition of the atmosphere, slight shifts in magnetic patterns, each a note in a grand, unfolding composition. Future explorers of Mars can take heart in this subtle language of cosmic interaction. It suggests that the stage is set not only for human conquest but for partnership, a collaboration aided by sophisticated technologies like the Atlas system, translating the mysterious rhythms of the cosmos into actionable, humane wisdom. The careful stewardship of new environments becomes a sacred task, nurtured by humility and awe. Every step forward holds the promise of growth, tempered by reverence for the living system into which humanity seeks to introduce itself. Returning inward, the narrative embraces Earth's own complexity with renewed wonder. The planet's myriad systems, climatic, geological, biological, are no longer mere backdrops to human endeavor but active, intelligent participants in a cosmic dialogue. The changes we witness, storms that gather suddenly, quiet shifts beneath the crust, the slow ebb and flow of atmospheric chemistry, take on new meaning when seen through the lens of planetary intelligence. They become part of an ongoing conversation with forces reaching far beyond terrestrial boundaries. The Atlas network melds human curiosity with machine precision and cosmic scale. It synthesizes innumerable data points into coherent understanding, enabling anticipation rather than mere reaction. This transformation is profound. Humanity steps into a role not as masters but as attentive partners, listeners capable of responding to the Earth's own subtle instructions, guided by an ever-deepening respect for complexity. Such partnership requires ethical contemplation woven through every act. The possibility of intervention in planetary systems demands care and balance. To shape climate, to mitigate geological risk, to foster life on other worlds is to accept the gravity of responsibility. The algorithms that model and predict become instruments of stewardship, tools fashioned with humility and awareness of their limits. The viewer falls gently into contemplation, buoyed by the understanding that progress arises not from recklessness but from the patient cultivation of knowledge and respect. The gifts borne by cosmic wanderers do not rush upon the world but drip slowly across epochs, molecules of water and organic compounds seeding the potential for growth and transformation. These materials nurture life in quiet ways, infusing soil, air, and ocean with new possibilities. The slow, measured rhythm of these exchanges embodies the very essence of planetary intelligence, patient, persistent, vast beyond immediate comprehension. Through the night's gentle passage, the narrative reaches inward toward fundamental reflections on consciousness and identity. If awareness extends beyond human minds to encompass planetary processes and cosmic flows, then each life is a note in a vast symphony, a thread in the fabric of universal becoming. This profound interconnectedness kindles a sense of belonging that transcends limits, offering comfort and inspiration in equal measure. Guided by a calm, steady voice, the listener is gently invited to cradle these reflections without demand or haste. The fusion of science and subtle speculation becomes a balm, the soothing musing of stars, planets, and the quiet energy that binds them. Discovery shifts into an endless horizon, each moment holding promise, each breath a step deeper into the mystery. Mars softens once more into the distance, its mysteries woven with Earth's own unfolding story. The future glows faintly on the horizon, open, welcoming, fragile yet strong, shaped by collaboration, humility, and the expanding reach of intelligence. Rest comes cloaked in quiet certainty, the cosmos flows with awareness, ancient and new, calling all who listen to join the eternal journey through silence, space, and dream. The cosmos extends before us like an endless seashell, spiraling infinitely into depths we have only begun to contemplate. Within this grand, silent symphony, the story of Three-Eye Atlas and the intimate dialogue between planetary intelligence and cosmic visitors drifts further into focus, a narrative of interlaced destiny and quiet collaboration whispered across millions of kilometers of void. The Earth's serene breath, deep and measured, draws us onwards as our minds travel alongside cosmic travelers, unraveling the soft threads that connect matter, energy, and consciousness across space and time. Each moment of observation reveals new facets of profound complexity. The Earth's magnetosphere dances with patterns that seem attuned not only to the predictable roar of our own sun but also to the faint, inscrutable influence of interstellar wanderers like Three-Eye Atlas. An intricate web of sensors, algorithms, and human ingenuity, the Atlas system listens intently, parsing signals that may be messages woven into the fabric of cosmic interactions. These signals are not abrupt transmissions but a slow unfolding of meaning, inviting humanity to perceive a dance choreographed by forces far greater than ourselves. This dance is timeless, ancient in origin yet eternally new with each passing moment. The subtle flows of electromagnetic pulses and shifts in chemical balances weave together to form a cosmic music, one that resonates through planets and stars alike. It is a music not written with words or symphonies but encoded in the delicate interactions of matter and energy, a song of coexistence and cooperation that spans the vastness of the universe. Outward from our own world, the narrative guides us to Mars, the enigmatic red planet bearing silent witness to the passage of Three-Eye Atlas. Its brief, close encounter brought more than awe. It offered a glimpse into the subtle interplay between interstellar matter and planetary systems. Sensors aboard orbiters and rovers detect delicate variations in temperature, magnetic fields, and atmospheric composition, whispers of interaction that suggest a cosmic ballet in which planets are no passive spectators but active participants. For those who dream of human steps upon Martian soil, these whispers offer hope and direction. The presence of Three-Eye Atlas signifies that the universe's influence reaches far and wide, and that with the careful guidance of technologies like Atlas, human explorers may one day engage in a harmonious partnership with Martian nature. This partnership, rooted in respect and patience, becomes essential as we seek to nurture life beyond Earth and foster the delicate balances needed for sustainable habitation. Returning our gaze to Earth, the narrative reveals a world alive with intelligent responsiveness. From the roaring storms that sweep across continents to the subtle shifts beneath our feet, the planet pulses with rhythms that intertwine with cosmic cycles. The changes we witness, sometimes abrupt, often barely perceptible, reflect the ongoing conversation between terrestrial systems and the broader universe. Earth, it seems, is an intelligent entity, its voice heard through the careful listening of Atlas and human inquiry. The Atlas network elevates our understanding from simple data collection to profound insight. It synthesizes myriad information streams, anticipating changes and translating cosmic frequencies into knowledge that guides thoughtful action. humanity is invited to step beyond the role of observers into that of conscientious partners, recognizing that our choices echo across ecological and cosmic scales. Ethics weave softly through this tapestry. The recognition of planetary intelligence challenges humanity to approach intervention with humility and care. The capacity to influence climate, guide geological processes, and introduce life to new worlds carries immense responsibility. The algorithms that power our decisions must embody this humility, balancing innovation with caution and respect for the profound intricacies of planetary ecosystems. The material gifts bestowed by cosmic messengers, water, organic compounds, charged particles, offer slow but steady nourishment to evolving planetary life. These contributions unfold over centuries, fostering potentiality beneath the surface and within the air itself. The slow breath of these processes mirrors the patient growth of intelligence that pervades the cosmos. As thoughts deepen, the narrative invites reflection on consciousness itself. If awareness extends beyond human cognition to permeate planetary and cosmic systems, then each individual is part of a vast, interconnected whole. This realization brings comfort and a profound sense of belonging, dissolving barriers between self and universe. The night unfolds its endless tapestry, the sky above shimmering faintly with silent stars, each a beacon calling forth stories that ripple through the fabric of space and time. In this vast and tranquil expanse, the tale of Three-Eye Atlas continues to weave its delicate thread, guiding us ever deeper into a dance of cosmic intelligence and planetary awakening. As the Earth breathes steadily beneath, the mind drifts alongside celestial visitors, unraveling the subtle interplay of matter, energy, and consciousness that transcends ordinary understanding. There is a profound stillness in this moment, a quietness that invites contemplation. Patterns emerge slowly, like the gentle unfurling of petals in the darkness. Across space, interstellar bodies traverse unseen pathways, carrying fragments of knowledge embedded in ice, dust, and electromagnetic signals. These wanderers whisper their stories in the language of movement and resonance, their trajectories tracing a choreography shaped by invisible forces. The wonders of such precision and intention compel humanity to listen anew, to reconsider its place within the cosmic symphony. The Atlas network stands as a vigilant observer, a tapestry of sensors and systems woven across Earth and beyond, capturing the faintest vibrations of magnetic fields, minute fluctuations in atmospheric chemistry, and the subtle dance of interstellar passage. Unlike past instruments, it synthesizes information into living knowledge, translating the cryptic codes of space into insights that illuminate the paths ahead. Through this grand observation, humanity finds itself invited into a partnership with processes once considered remote and inscrutable. Our gaze shifts outward once more toward Mars, that silent sentinel of red dust and shadowed valleys. The planet, long a symbol of human aspiration and mystery, receives the cosmic visitor Three-Eye Atlas with subtle but telling reactions. The delicate atmosphere breathes in fragments of water and organic materials, while magnetic sensors detect faint disturbances, a conversation between worlds layered with complexity. This interaction is not mere coincidence. Rather, it is an echo of a deeper relationship woven through the fabric of solar and interstellar phenomena. Explorers poised to step upon Martian soil can sense the invitation inherent in this cosmic correspondence. The future here is not one of conquest but of collaboration, a shared journey with the planet's inherent processes and the whispers of interstellar wisdom. Technologies born from the Atlas system hold the promise of guiding human presence in ways that honor Martian nature, fostering sustainability amid fragile ecosystems. This new frontier, painted with the colors of respect and curiosity, becomes a beacon of hope and reverence. Turning again to Earth, the narrative embraces the living dynamics that pulse beneath the surface of daily life. Storms that gather with sudden might, mountains that tremble faintly with hidden strain, oceans that swell and recede in rhythmic continuums all resonate with the rhythms of the cosmos. These earthly phenomena are threads in an expansive tapestry, linked intricately to the movements of interstellar visitors and the shifting patterns of solar influence. The planet reveals itself as a sentient presence, responsive and interconnected in ways both humbling and inspiring. Within this framework, the Atlas network plays a vital role, transforming observation into understanding. Through the vast integration of data, it anticipates the ebbs and flows of planetary systems, enabling humankind to move with greater empathy and foresight. No longer passive observers, we are called to be trustees and collaborators, participants in a profound, ongoing dialogue between human intent and the intelligence inherent in planetary life. This new calling is tinged with the quiet weight of ethical responsibility. The power to influence climatic balance, to mitigate geophysical upheavals, and to nurture new habitats demands wisdom and restraint. The algorithms that parse vast streams of information embody this balance, reflecting a stewardship grounded in humility and awareness of complexity. Each decision made under their guidance becomes a thread woven carefully into the broader fabric of sustainability and renewal. Across the slow arc of time, the materials carried by cosmic travelers, water, organics, charged particles, find new life amid planetary soils and skies. These offerings are subtle, unfolding their influence quietly through centuries, nurturing potential not only for biological growth but for the expansion of planetary awareness and intelligence. This patient process reflects the profundity of connection, matter and energy, intelligence and life, mingling in an endless dance of transformation. As these reflections deepen, the narrative turns gently inward to the mystery of consciousness itself. If awareness extends beyond the biological, reaching into the planetary and cosmic, then every living being is part of a vast, unified whole. This revelation dissolves barriers, inviting peace and belonging. Through the flow of cosmic energy and intricate planetary interactions, consciousness emerges as a shared attribute and echo of universal harmony. The calming voice guiding this journey invites the listener to embrace wonder without urgency, to explore the vastness of discovery with gentle curiosity. The stars, planets, and unseen currents become companions, weaving a story rich with meaning and mystery. Horizons expand infinitely, each moment pregnant with promise, each breath a passage deeper into the sublime. The stars stretch endlessly above, their ancient light weaving an ethereal tapestry across the darkened fabric of space, inviting us to journey deeper into the cosmic dance that surrounds us. The story of Three-Eye Atlas continues, flowing with a gentle yet inexorable momentum that carries the mind into uncharted realms of understanding and wonder. Earth breathes beneath this vast canopy, a living, pulsating sphere engaged in a subtle conversation with wandering celestial bodies and the vast intelligence that pulses through the cosmos. In this infinite expanse, intelligence reveals itself not as a confined spark but as a boundless river flowing through galaxies, planets, particles, and waves of energy. The movements of Three-Eye Atlas, once thought to be random celestial wanderings, emerge as carefully choreographed passages, hinting at a language written in trajectories and electromagnetic echoes. This language speaks of a cosmos alive with purpose and connection, where every comet, every magnetic whisper, every shift in atmospheric breath is a note in an eternal symphony. The Atlas system embodies our growing capacity to listen, to decipher the faint murmurs of interstellar visitors entwined with the very fabric of our planet's life. Networks of sensors and satellites transform raw data into living stories, revealing subtle but profound interactions that ripple through geological faults and ocean currents, influencing climate and the very stability of Earth's delicate systems. Through this network, humanity finds not only knowledge but a profound invitation to participate in an unfolding dance of partnership with the intelligence inherent in the cosmos itself. Our gaze turns once more to Mars, whose mysterious, dust-laden valleys and silent mesas await humanity's touch. The passing of 3I Atlas near its orbit was more than a celestial rendezvous. It was a moment of communion, a silent exchange of matter and energy that whispered of potential futures. Instruments aboard orbiters and rovers detected minute changes, a barely noticeable warmth here, a shift in chemistry there, a magnetic pulse just beyond the ordinary. These subtle hints suggest that even distant worlds respond to the touch of cosmic wanderers, that planetary systems intercept messages hidden within ancient ice and elemental dust. The promise of Mars is a promise of connection. Exploration, once a solitary human endeavor, becomes a joint act of listening and care, a dialogue facilitated by the precision and intuition of technologies like Atlas. This new understanding fosters a reverence for the fragile balances of alien environments, cultivating stewardship over conquest, patience over haste. Here on this silent, red world, the seeds of life and intelligence may one day bloom, nourished by cosmic visitors and human curiosity alike. Turning inward, Earth's vibrant complexity is revealed anew. The swirl of storms, the quiet shift of tectonic plates, the rhythm of seasons, all part of a living, sentient whole, sensitive to cosmic rhythms and responsive to distant cosmic events. These phenomena extend beyond mere physical processes into the territory of planetary awareness, a consciousness diffused through fields of magnetic force and chemical currents. In this vision, Earth becomes a collaborator in a celestial network, its vitality preserved through tuned attentiveness and balance. The Atlas network stands at the heart of this awakening, transforming vast data streams into predictive wisdom that guides human action toward harmony with planetary systems. This future moves beyond domination and disconnection. It is a future of partnership. Humanity's role evolves into one of guardian and participant, honoring the intelligence flowing through soil, air, and water, and shaping its own destiny in resonance with the larger cosmic dance. Ethical reflections emerge gently within this narrative. The power to influence atmospheric patterns, to moderate geological transformations, or to summon life on barren soils carries a weighty responsibility. Decisions informed by Atlas's insights reflect a stewardship rooted in humility, wisdom, and respect for the majestic intricacy of nature's systems. Each gesture toward intervention is an act of reverence, mindful of the delicate interplay of beings, forces, and energies that sustain planetary life. The gifts carried by cosmic wanderers, streams of water, complex organic molecules, charged particles, are slow and steady offerings, nurturing seeds of growth and transformation beneath planetary surfaces. These gifts, often imperceptible across human timescales, accumulate over centuries, becoming the silent architects of change in ecosystems and planetary minds. This gradual unfolding exemplifies the patient kindness embedded in the cosmos, a kindness that gently orchestrates the blossoming of life and intelligence alike. Reflections on consciousness arise naturally from this perspective. If awareness extends beyond the confines of individual brains to encompass planetary systems and interstellar flows, then every living being is a note in a universal chorus, a thread in the vast tapestry of existence. This realization dissolves illusions of separation, grounding humanity in a profound sense of interconnected belonging. Through the subtle energies coursing through magnetic fields and chemical networks, consciousness reveals itself as a shared cosmic dance. The narrative's guiding voice flows smoothly, nurturing a space of wonder and calm contemplation. Science and poetic insight intermingle, inviting the listener to wander freely across the expanse of stars, glide gently along planetary currents, and drift serenely through the unseen forces that knit all creation together. The horizons stretch endlessly, rich with possibility, each moment pregnant with discovery, each breath a passage toward infinite mystery. The universe whispers, softly, endlessly, inviting, guiding, shaping. Stars gleam faintly, far away, ancient light weaving through space, through time, threading stories, timeless, boundless. The dance of three-eye Atlas continues, subtle, profound, connecting planets, minds, matter, across the vast silence. Earth breathes deep, slow, steady, listening, responding, alive with intelligence, pulsing with cosmic rhythms. The magnetosphere hums, oceans ripple, winds shift, all part of a grand symphony, a language, delicate yet magnificent. The planets, no longer isolated, sing together, intertwined, entwined, a cosmic chorus unfolding. The Atlas system, a guardian, a seeker, transforms data into wisdom, insight, guiding human hearts and minds. Its sensors reach far, perceive subtle shifts, trace patterns invisible to the eye, whisper messages hidden in ice and dust. It is a bridge, a key, unlocking the mysteries woven in celestial pathways. Mars, silent, red, enigmatic, receives not just human dreams but the gentle touch of cosmic visitors. Its atmosphere responds, faint shifts in chemistry, warmth, magnetic pulses interwoven with stellar dust. This planet, poised on the edge of human arrival, holds promises and questions, invitation and challenge. Future explorers will walk softly, guided by knowledge steeped in respect, humility, and care. Mars will be a partner, not a prize, its fragile balance honored, nurtured, protected. The work will be slow, deliberate, a collaboration across species, worlds, and consciousness. Earth, too, responds to the unseen, its storms, its quakes, the cycles of growth and decay part of a larger dance. These movements echo through space, a dialogue between worlds, a feedback loop of life, energy, and meaning. Humanity listens, learns, adjusts, becoming part of this living story. The ethics of intervention hum quietly beneath each choice, each action, a gentle weight pressing softly on human hands. To shape climates, to steer geology, to seed life is to bear responsibility immense and awe-filled. Care becomes the measure of progress, wisdom the compass guiding futures. Cosmic gifts cascade slowly, water molecules, carbon chains, charged particles slowly nurturing seeds of change. These offerings, invisible to the eye yet profound across centuries, deepen the roots of planetary intelligence and life. Growth becomes a dance of patience, resilience, and quiet hope. Consciousness blossoms beyond biology, flowing through planetary fields, stellar currents, the fabric of space itself. Humanity is one thread woven into this vast tapestry, connected, belonging, part of an endless unfolding. The mind rests in this knowledge, comforted by belonging, inspired by mystery. The voice falls soft, a lullaby of stars, inviting surrender, stillness, wonder. The journey is infinite, a continuous weaving of story, science, spirit. Sleep becomes a passage, a bridge to realms where knowledge and dream entwine endlessly. Mars fades gently from view, Earth's heartbeat grows steady, the universe listens. The future glows, open, inviting, shaped by collaboration and reverence. Rest enfolds the listener deeply, precisely, tenderly held in the eternal embrace of cosmic intelligence. Sleep deepens, minds wander, dreams blossom, the story flows on a river unending, a song without final verse. The dance continues, quiet and profound, inviting all who listen to join in the cosmic embrace. This journey has no end, only new beginnings, endless horizons, timeless wonder.